Hey, it's Brooke, and I realized that I never said what this video was actually about once I finished editing it. So this video is my last apush project, and it is my top 5 personal favorite amendments to the United States Constitution. Oh, also, these amendments are ranked from the first best amendment to the 5th best amendment in my opinion. So, yeah. Let's just start off with the First Amendment. I hope you enjoy this video.
Man, I love geese, dude.
You can't say that. Your opinion's not valid. I'm gonna put you in prison.
What?
You can't do that. First Amendment says you can say that without going to prison.
Before the American Revolution, the British had control over American colonies. The leaders of some of these colonies did not tolerate any opposing religious views. For example, the Massachusetts Bay Colony banned anyone that was not Puritan. When James Madison introduced the First Amendment to the House of Representatives in 1789, it gave Americans the right to practice their religion freely, say what they want to, and express their thoughts about topics such as the government and religion without consequence. This amendment was passed officially on December 15, 1791. I think that this is one of the most important amendments because it allows people to express their feelings about society and the government, and if people feel dissatisfied about something, they can voice their opinions about it instead of being worried that they might be severely punished. A lot of countries today still do not have the right to freedom of speech, press, assembly, and religion, so Americans are very lucky to have this right. A lot of people, like politicians and news reporters in America today, would most likely be in jail right now if the First Amendment was not passed.
I am officially putting you in prison for 26 years for eating that chicken tender.
Okay, this is so ridiculous. I'm pretty sure eating a chicken tender isn't even illegal.
Right. It's not illegal. I just don't like you.
That is literally not fair. You know what? I'm exercising my 7th Amendment right. Jury, what do you think?
We think that you should not get arrested for eating a chicken tender.
Alright, thanks y'all.
Case dismissed. Sorry, I like gabbling.
1787, the first constitutional convention was held in order to revise the Articles of Confederation, which was very weak. James Madison added the 7th Amendment to the Bill of Rights in 1791 so that a second constitutional convention would not occur. One of the main reasons why the Articles of Confederation was so weak was because it had a unicameral legislature and too much power was given to one branch of government. People were worried that if civil trials were only decided by judges, then that would be giving too much power to one branch of government. Therefore, the passing of the 7th Amendment allowed for citizens to have a jury to hear upon and help decide the outcome of their civil case. I think that the 7th Amendment is very important because it does not give one branch of government too much power, and often a jury is very useful in civil cases. A jury ensures that an American citizen will not be punished without a good cause. It is also important to have people on trial who do not work for the government so that all trials are fair. Without the 7th Amendment, many citizens will most likely be unrighteously imprisoned or punished. It's okay, just stay in there, I'll keep you safe. I really wish someone would pass an amendment or something that freed all these slaves.
There. Now all slaves are free.
Thanks, Abe. Alright, y'all can come out now. In 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation that freed all slaves in states not under Union control. This meant that some slaves were not free in certain northern states. On January 31st, 1865, the 13th Amendment was passed by Abraham Lincoln in order for slaves in all states to officially be free. The 13th Amendment allowed for slavery to officially be abolished throughout America. In my opinion, the 13th Amendment was a very influential amendment because it eliminated slavery in the United States, and this amendment was the start to giving African Americans rights. Slavery was very prominent, especially in the southern states before the Civil War, and after the 13th Amendment was passed, all these slaves were finally free in all states throughout America. Abolishing slavery was one step towards treating all people equally regardless of their race. You can't vote.
Actually, he can.
Thanks to the 15th Amendment, you cannot prevent a person from voting because of their race, color, or religion. In order to reconstruct America after the Civil War, the 15th Amendment was passed. This amendment gave all American men the right to vote, regardless of their race, color, or background. This amendment was passed on February 26, 1869, and ratified on February 3rd of 1870. In my opinion, this amendment is very impactful in America because it gave African Americans the freedom to vote, and this is a very big step towards equality. Directly after the 15th Amendment was passed, however, racist people still tried to strip African Americans of their right to vote by making very difficult tests and restrictions that prevented them from voting. It wasn't until 1965 that the Voting Rights Act was passed that enforced the 15th Amendment and gave African Americans an equal opportunity to vote.
All right, buddy, drop it in.
Man, you can't vote. What? Why? Because you're a woman. During the Progressive Era, women started gaining a greater role in society as they moved from working at home to working in a factory and office jobs. As the role of women in society started to change, women started advocating for equal rights. People started pushing for women's suffrage, and after many protests, women finally got the right to vote. On June 4th, 1919, the 19th Amendment was passed, and in 1920, it was ratified. In my opinion, this amendment is very significant because now every citizen in America is able to vote regardless of their gender, race, color, or background. Women had been oppressed in society for a very long time, and the 19th Amendment finally gave them a voice in the government. The 19th Amendment gave women a voice in the government because they had the right to vote and they were able to choose their government leaders. Today, women in America are able to elect their leaders, and a total of 346 women have served as members of the House of Representatives.
All right, man, you can vote now.
They call me Megatron. Shorty's a megacon. It ain't about the race either, it's the marathon.